back, everybody. It is officially the end of August, meaning it is time for another end of the month movie ranking. But we only have 4 more movie rankings till the end of 2025. And then after 2025, it's only 5 years till 2030 horror, which is crazy with how 2020's horror has been. So I just kind of realized that, and it's insane. But today we're here to talk about August 2025's horror list so far. And I watched 8 films. Surprisingly, only 3 were new releases. So a lot of this, majority of it was first time watches for me. And I will say the top 6 are really good films. My first top 2 was hard to pick of where to place them because they were both really good for different reasons. But I do want to start off at number 8. The Rental is a 2020 horror movie that tells the story of 2 couples that go on a little trip for the weekend, only to realize something is wrong when they find cameras in their rental. Now, this is 2020 horror. It is not good as your standard horror, but my main issue with this movie is the logic. A horror movie doesn't have. I know logic can be a big thing in horror movies, like it's a movie that's not going to make 100% logical sense. But what this movie gets me is, I'm not a big fan of these characters in general, which I know the actors. I'm not even going after the actors. I know 3 out of the 4 of the actors from different projects, mainly the guy from Shameless that played mainly him. And I don't like these characters because they cheat. 2 of them cheat with the other, and that's how they find out about the camera and they see it. And instead of telling their partners or trying to make up a reason to leave in the first place, they decide to stay, not say a single word about it, not making it up like some kind of emergency or family. But they stay. They try to convince them not to go with the camera, which is where, as far as I know, the cameras are. So they do that. Doesn't end well for them. Things start to get stranger. Dogs get lost, and they're like, they stay, but they don't really say anything. And then they face the guy that did the camera. He obviously didn't know. And just how they deal with the whole situation. I'm like, you guys got caught cheating. That's why I don't want it shown. And the way the whole logic movie goes, I wasn't a fan of it. I got very annoyed. I don't like cheaters. And just all the way at the end to show, like, they did cheat, but they were trying to make it. It's just bad, y'all. It's bad. And at number 7, I have Hell House LLC Lineage, which is a big disappointment because I am a fan of the House LLC movies. And to me, found footage are not my favorite horror genre. They're one of my least favorites. But I have always had a good time with this franchise, even with the not so great movies. And now this officially being the last of this kind of universe, I had a good time as a fan with the lore. I like Vanessa's character and how they kind of explain things. But the biggest problem is they leave things open. They leave a lot of things open. In order to actually see this movie, you have to understand. You have to see all 4 to understand really anything that's going on. It was shot fine. I actually like the way it was shot. It was just, there was more unanswered questions, and the ending was, I hated the ending. It was so bad and just confusing. But as a fan, I enjoyed it for the lore, but I'm disappointed. At number 6, I have Primitive War, and this is solely because it is not a bad movie by any means. It's just simply a movie about war meets dinosaurs. And I don't like war movies. Dinosaur movies aren't my favorite. So you put them together, you're bound to not get my type of movie. The acting characters are fine. Like I said, more war movie tropes, not my favorite. The dinosaurs look better in some shots than others. The big thing with this movie was the CGI that took it down. But at the end of the day, it's just not my type of movie. It wasn't bad, was good, just not my type of movie. At number 5, I have The Toxic Avenger. Now, I had a really good time with this movie. I really liked the characters. I really liked how the story went. I really liked the messages they were trying to send about the medical field. There's one scene with the phone call of them talk to an agent that I found pretty funny because I've been there. And it's just a good time. It tells the story of a man who gets pretty much screwed over by his employer only to turn into a toxic avenger. But the big thing again with this one that takes it down is the CGI isn't great in this one. And there's one sequence with a kill scene that could have been funny, but the CGI was still noticeably bad. And the big thing with this one also is the humor can make or break it for people. 70% of the humor worked for me. I liked it, but yeah, the humor can be hit and miss people. And they also had a group similar to anyone seen 28 Years Later. If you've seen that ending with the group of people, very similar group in here that's throughout the film, but I think they did it much better. Yeah, people are gonna be, I don't think people are pretty mixed on that too when it comes out. Everyone sees it. But I had a good time with it. I liked it. And at number 4, I have Weapons. Now, I enjoyed this one. Again, I had a good time with this one. I liked the story. I liked towards the ending. One of my favorite scenes, ironically, from this movie is towards the end. Gladys is like, and this tells the story of a mystery of kids who disappeared one night. One of the Gladys is like running, and it's unironically one of the funniest chase scenes I've seen in forever. I love that. Love me a funny death in horror, honestly. I really do. It's a good movie. I really liked it. It was a good time. And at number 3, and the top 3 were hard, I have The Evil Dead 2. I had a really good time with this movie. I liked it. It's a classic. Do I prefer to Evil Dead? Honestly, I'm more of an Evil Dead girly, but I had a good time. It was good. Ash's characters was good time. And the humor in this one was pretty good. It got me. At number 2, I have my own 2 really hard, guys. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And this is 1978 and tells the story of a alien invasion. Now, obviously, there are themes here going on about censorship and all of that throughout the movie. But this is one of those movies that some movies are hard for me to pick up on first watch, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers is kind of one of those. I understand the point they were making, and I do really like that. I like how things go. I like the ending. And there was one very creepy scene, of course, I think everybody knows, where it's like the effects. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is a really good movie, but I think I need to rewatch a couple times to fully understand and grasp the whole movie like some of the other classics do for me. But still, a really good movie. Message behind it very clear. Great practical effects. Great movie. Number 1, I have Audition. Now, this is a Japanese horror movie that tells a story of a man who auditions for girls to be his wife or girlfriend. And I knew this movie was on some level disturbing. But this is a very slow burn movie that took me by surprise because I liked the slow burn in the first hour. It was really disturbing. There were certain scenes that got me here. But one thing I will say is I see a message of like beauty and pretending and acting is yes throughout this movie, and I do like that. But those disturbing scenes, the bag scene is honest to God what gets me. And the puke one where she throws up, that is what got me in the movie. And it just continues like that towards the end. And when you wake up and it's kind of like a dream sequence, which I didn't fully understand. I had to watch a few more things to fully grasp what that fully is, and I can't fully explain that now. But Audition is a really good movie. There are disturbing scenes. There's like 20 minutes where like, ooh. Yeah, especially the needle scene where she's, it is a good disturbing horror, and I like what they're trying to say between the lines. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it. It is a pretty solid movie. So that is the end of month for August. Comment down below if you've seen any of these or how you would rank the movies that you saw this month. And I'll see you guys soon with some new Conjuring videos coming up next month, because that is the biggest release and the big thing that has my focus. I'll see you guys soon with a brand new video. Almost said movie there.